We're getting the brassicas and the leeks ready for a winter harvest today on Pots and Trowels, which is brought to you with the support of Darlac and Cobra Garden. Hello, we're in the veg garden today and I just thought we'd do a little bit of clearing up. Most of the summer vegetables have gone, all the beans, the runner beans, the French beans, courgettes have gone more or less. I've been hanging on to a couple of plants because they've had a few late fruits on, but here we are now, end of October, so it's time to get rid of those again, and that's all going to go on the compost heap. But this bed here is our winter brassica bed, where we've got Brussels sprouts, we've got various types of kale in here, and the winter cabbage. So this will keep us in fresh vegetables from now right the way through until next March. So it's a really important part of the garden through the winter. And although we can be pulling them and cutting them as we want, what I like to do is just have a little bit of a tidy up, because certainly on Brussels sprouts and on the taller kales you often get the lower leaves going yellow and dying off. So it's just a case of literally going in and pulling off these yellow leaves from around the base of the plant like this. They rot and they can cause all sorts of molds and things, and brassica whitefly, which can be a problem, loves to live on the old leaves as well. So over here on the Brussels you can see these lower leaves. I'm just going to snap them off because they're not doing any good at all, and have a good tidy round like that. So I'm going to work my way through the bed and get rid of all of those, and if more develop in a few weeks time then I will take them off. I've taken the nets off to get into them. Now these are the butterfly nets that we put on in the summer to keep the butterflies off, to stop the caterpillars causing lots of damage. I'm going to leave them on over winter. I'm going to put them back when I finish this job, simply because the pigeons at the moment are quite a problem in the garden, and they will sit on top of the kale, sit on top of the Brussels plants and peck at the new growth. So I'm going to take them off. The other reason is because a little friend of mine called Molly loves raw kale, and I don't know where she is, because normally if I'm in the kale patch she's here. She loves raw kale, so if I leave the gate open and she gets in, she'll have a little chomp. So they will be covered over. The other thing I'm going to look at is the leek bed over there, because again, another really good winter vegetable. Oh, here she is. Do you want a bit of kale, Mol? Can I tempt you to a bit of kale? Here you go. Good girl. That's it. She'll go and take that to the kennel and eat it. But the leeks are doing really well as well. They've grown, they were planted out in the summer, and we can start harvesting these anytime now. In fact, we've already started to get a few of these, but it's the same thing really with the leeks. Very often the lower leaves on them start to rot off like this and go brown. So it's just a case of really working the way through the leeks, taking off all of these old leaves. It's just good garden hygiene to get rid of them. It helps to stop the spread of rust, which can be a problem with them. So this is going to go on the compost heap. It's fine to put on the compost heap. I'm emptying some compost out at the moment, and then this will all go with some other garden waste to make up a compost heap over winter. And of course these are now at the perfect stage to harvest. So easy way to harvest these. I think we might have some of these later to eat. Put a fork in, don't just try and pull a leek out, because you'll probably finish up snapping it. Push the fork in, just lever it out like that, loosen the roots, and then just shake the soil off. You can see that it's got a lovely, lovely root system there on this, like that. And then what you need is a knife. So I'll just get my knife out my pocket here. So just get your knife like this, and then what we're going to do is cut the root off there. So it's just a case of getting your knife in there and cutting that root off, and then you can peel off just the outer leaf like that. So we've got that lovely white shaft there. We don't need to take any more. We don't need all these leaves. So it's just a case again getting your knife and just slicing those through like that, and there you've got your leek for the kitchen. And again, all this waste is perfect for adding to the compost heap. finally, it's time to start thinking about getting a bit of ground preparation done for next year. We're getting lots of waste out the garden. As I said, the last of the summer veg, the courgettes, are going to be pulled up later today, but I need to empty the compost bin from last year's waste. And we did look at it a few weeks ago, and it's getting lovely and crumbly now. This is all last year's garden waste that's been in my compost bin. So it's from the vegetable garden, it's grass cuttings, it's autumn leaves from last year, and it really is lovely, lovely crumbly compost that is perfect for conditioning the soil. It really is. So I need to empty the bin and use it. So perfect thing to do with it through the winter is to put it on bare ground. If you leave bare ground exposed to the elements and heavy rain, then the soil will wash around, it will cap off really hard, and a lot of the nutrients will be washed down out of the soil. So a really good way to seal it over is to put like a duvet of compost over it. So I'm just going to tip it over where I've got bare plots all around the garden like that, and all I'm going to do is literally spread it out with a fork, so we're not digging it in. Now if you do the no dig method, you would leave that. If you are a digger, then what I would do then in the spring is just sort of tickle it into the surface. But essentially, by just covering the soil over with that 2 or 3 inches of lovely, wonderful organic matter that you've made yourself, then that will protect the soil, and the nutrients in there will go down into the soil, the worms will pull it in, and you'll have absolutely fantastic soil to start growing your veg in next year. Well, thank you for watching Pots and Trowels this week, and thank you for all your likes and telling all your friends about us. Next time I'm going to be gathering up some of the autumn leaves and showing you how to start a new compost heap to get some compost for next year. But for now, it's in to start preparing cheesy leeks for tea. See you soon. Bye.